These are the UPVINE Pro Plus Chinese carbon wheels. I will share my ride experience with them and compare them to other Chinese alternatives. I will also present the results of my in-house testing and tell you something about the brand itself, because I'm sure many of you never heard about it before. Hello, Petr from CyclistShub.com here. Let me tell you the story of how I found out that UPVINE actually exists. I first encountered them at Eurobike 2023, where I admired their wheels with carbon and Kevlar spokes. At Eurobike 2024 we met again, and they asked me if I would be interested in reviewing their wheels. I said yes, but gave them my usual disclaimer. I will say the good, the bad and the ugly if I find something is wrong with their wheels. But before I explain how these wheels perform, let me quickly summarize the unboxing experience, technical specifications and the results of my in-house testing. The UPVINE Pro Plus wheels came in a branded box that contained two separate black boxes. I would like to point out a small detail. Note that they don't use duct tape, they use glue. It makes the whole box cleaner and you don't need a knife to open it. Each wheel is then packed in its separate box. Thanks to the premium packaging, my first impression was positive. What I appreciate the most, however, are the charts that include handwritten information on spoke tension. However, I will probably have to learn Chinese to understand what the labels say. This is a problem with UPVINE. Some of their communication is in Chinese, for example, on their Instagram. If they want to approach Western customers, they must switch to English. The package also included branded tubeless valves and two tire levers. Spare spokes were not included, but you can request them for free if you manage to break them. The Pro Plus are the top of the line wheels from UPVINE. These are 50 mm deep, weigh 1429 grams, have carbon spokes and steel bearings. Seeing steel bearings is surprising in this price range, as many other brands jump on the ceramic bandwagon because ceramic sounds better in marketing materials than steel. I prefer quality steel ones rather than cheap ceramic ones. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. Their internal width is 24 mm and their external width is 30.3 mm at the widest point at the rear wheel and 34.1 mm at the front wheel. As always, I checked both wheels for lateral and radial trueness. The rear wheel was perfect, but the front wheel had a slight about 0.5 mm deviation in one spot. It didn't affect the riding characteristics, but I just wanted to show you that they were not true perfectly. The spoke tension was nearly perfect though. No spoke was more than 5% of the average spoke tension. While the tension wasn't exactly the same for each spoke, the variation was within 3%. This is the best result I've ever recorded. The hub centering, aka dishing, was also good. The rear wheel had a small gap between the pin and the end cap. Again, as with the trueness, you won't notice this when riding. When I checked the internal rim structure, I saw no major wrinkles or leftover epoxy. These rims rank among the best I've seen. The first problem I encountered was when seating tubeless tires. These wheels are tubeless ready and come with pre-installed tubeless rim tape. I tried to install my new Tufo Contura 40L 28 mm tires. Installing the tire on the front wheel required tire levers, but I could still seat it with a regular floor pump. This is a good scenario. The rear wheel was more difficult. I put the tire on with same effort, but seating it with a floor pump was impossible. Even when using a compressor, it didn't work, which was surprising since I consider it foolproof. Especially if I remove the valve core, use a wider nozzle and pressurize the compressor to 8 bars, but it didn't work. I added a sealant, but it didn't help either. So I removed the tire, cleaned both the rim and the tire, and then, after several more attempts, it finally seated. This was the first time I had such trouble seating a tire. The air kept escaping. I'm not sure if it was an issue with the tire, which was brand new, or the rim design, but this was very frustrating. I had no idea what to expect from these wheels. Of course, as always, the company representatives praised their product to the skies, but I always prefer to make my own opinion. However, from my experience with these and many other Chinese carbon wheel sets, I have to say the Pro Plus wheels are among the best ones. I was impressed with the balance between stiffness, handling and stability. I don't know how they achieve that, because the general rule is that if the wheels are too stiff, they are not very comfortable. It could be the wider rims that allow the tire to inflate better and provide more ride comfort. I run 28mm tires, but their actual width on the front wheel is 31.1mm. What if I was running 32mm? I will have to try them one day. It's also interesting to see how trends change over time. Last year it was carbon spokes. This year I feel like rim width is being addressed the most. But it's no surprise, because some professional teams use similarly wide rims and tires. I've noticed this with the reserve wheels ridden by the team Visma Lease Bike and Envy ridden by the team Total Energies and team UAE. There is something to it. The added ride comfort is especially noticeable on long rides, when you won't be so tired of the ride vibrations. Anyway, let's go back to the UPVINE Pro wheels. How do they perform in other aspects? I've used them in Italy near Lake Como on local climbs and twisty descents. In terms of stiffness, the UPVINE Pro Plus wheels go beautifully behind the pedal. I enjoy the quick acceleration on them because it's basically instantaneous. I'm also happy with their crosswind stability. They belong among the most stable ones I've used. Trust me, I only weighed about 68 kg, so I noticed each wind gust. I find them very similar in ride characteristics to the Super Team All Carbon Ultra wheels, which also combine well the three main characteristics of good wheels: comfort, stiffness and stability. The Lún HYPER 3 and Lún MEGA feel stiffer, but are also less comfortable on rough roads. So before you decide which wheels to buy, make sure to also consider the quality of the roads you ride the most often. So do Pro Plus wheels have any weaknesses? Compared to steel spoked wheels, they are still less comfortable. That's just a disadvantage of carbon spokes. All carbon spoke wheels I tested were stiffer, but less comfortable than steel spoked ones. At the same time, some may be put off by the higher price compared to other Chinese alternatives. They cost $1,855 which is more than Lún HYPER 3, Elitewheels DRIVE and Helix, Farsports S series or basically any other Chinese wheelset you can think of. In this price range, many people prefer Western brands that offer local distribution and service. I'm curious, what is the most you are willing to spend on Chinese wheels? Share your limit in the comments below, please. Personally, I also don't like the logos, especially the red accents. They don't fit the rest of my bike. And as they say, it's not how you ride, it's how you look, isn't it? Maintenance-wise, it can also be tricky, as with every carbon spoke wheelset. The spare spokes are not included, but they can send you replacement ones for free. You will just have to wait for them a few more days, eventually weeks. The good news is that the hubs use one type of steel bearings, 2 in the front and 4 in the rear, so replacing them shouldn't take much effort. I can't comment on their long-term durability, but after about 700 kilometers they still feel like new. Overall, UPVINE Pro Plus wheels pleasantly surprised me, as I had no idea what to expect. They balance stiffness, comfort and stability really well. The packaging and the attention to detail, like the spoke tension chart, are nice touches. But they are expensive, and you might find other Chinese brands offering similar performance for much less. Still, if you are after premium quality and performance, the UPVINE Pro Plus wheels are worth your consideration. Anyway, I hope you find this review helpful. If you do so, please like and subscribe below. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Ciao!